XBRL implementation has been going really well. We're starting our third wave this summer. The first wave of filers, which are the predominantly Fortune 500, have completed their first and second phase. And while there were some technical issues and a variety of things that they had to learn, I think everyone would conclude it was a successful process. The second wave has completed their first stage and will be commencing their second stage in a few months. So this next period that we have in front of us will possibly be the most interesting, in that we have another 7,000 to 8,000 filers coming on board as a part of the third wave, and then we've got the second wave completing their second stage. So it's, I don't know if you can call that the triple witching hour, but getting close to that idea. For all of the listed companies, that would be summer of 2012. But we have complete sets of data now for the first wave, which I think give us something to start looking at more closely. From a standard setting perspective, it's going to give us an opportunity to really look at what's being tagged and get a complete picture of what's needed and where we might need to make some enhancements. Part of the benefit for us is really as a feedback mechanism, a post-implementation review, if you will, of how the standards are being used and how the taxonomy is being used. We have a very explicit part of our process is to analyze the filings and to bring that back into the house, if you will, to make sure that we've got the coverage that we need to have. So it's a very important part of that process. As we noted earlier, the program and where we currently are has these different phases, and we're highly focused on making sure that the taxonomy that we are primarily responsible for today, which is the US GAAP taxonomy, meets those specific SEC requirements. But having said that, on a standard setting level, we work very closely with the ISB and the ISB's XBRL team to make sure that where there is convergence, that we are also working to make sure that our taxonomies have converged. So in a day-to-day process, we work very closely with the team here in London to make sure that we're using the same concepts and we're modeling accordingly. There's a lot of work to do on historical information, but everything that is new on the table with the boards, we work very closely with the project teams on both sides of the pond to make sure that we are using those same concepts going forward. So we all believe that a common taxonomy, a global common taxonomy, is really a very important objective that we need to get to. Well, I think, there's no doubt that it adds some burden. There's no question that it's additional work, at least at this stage. And I think a lot of that is because it's being added on, what is commonly referred to as a bolt-on approach. So it's being added on to current processes. The long-term benefits of this, however, I think will actually reduce that impact with the right software solutions and getting it integrated into the existing reporting processes. There's a lot of efficiencies to be gained there in general. And just replacing the current process, which is really focused on this presentation, it's really this presentation-centric view of financial reporting, with something that is more data-centric, really should alleviate that pressure. Again, we've got some startup issues, but those will be diminished over time. Absolutely. Those that are really taking this, they're really looking at this strategically, and they're looking beyond, that this is just some compliance burden. They're seeing an opportunity to make this a whole lot more efficient. So it's being integrated all the way back to their GL systems so that when it comes time to generate the XBRL reports, it's done concurrent with any other report generation that's required. And if it has to be done, if it has to be changed or updated at the last minute, you push a button and it's done. No additional work, not really.